Hey, W7 Live, we actually are live. Well, eventually we'll get there. W7 Live, 8 o'clock, 8:12, 8:14. The good thing is I got the best followers in the world, and they know that, hey, eventually he'll get around to it. Eventually he will get this thing up and going we are. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for hanging out and waiting for us, and I promise you the wait's going to be worth it. Great show for you tonight. Big announcement on volleyball, ton of stuff going on, talking about basketball, talking about everything. I want to say hi to all of our friends out there. Hope you guys had a good Monday back. It's kind of a weird week with the whole 4th of July thing, and I don't know, most everybody's off it seems like, but not us. We're on, we're ready to go. We're going to get right into things and try to make up a little bit of time here. So tonight we're talking all about girls volleyball. We've got a special guest coming on in a few minutes that we'll introduce, and as well as some announcements that go with that as well. First and foremost, as always, I want to just do a quick review of W7 and who we are, because I don't want to be arrogant enough to think that everybody knows who we are. I want to make sure that everybody's plugged in on who W7 is and really what we do and that type of thing. So let me put this up here. I'm going to go picture in picture so it's easier to see. And we'll go in slideshow mode. There we go. I'm in the little window now. So who's W7? Well, first and foremost, we're a media company, and everybody says, well, you're a live streaming company. Well, not really. We're not really a live streaming company. Live streaming is something that we do. That's not who we are. It's just a way that lets us get our content from here to you, so you guys can watch it and see it. What we are is we are a company that provides a game day experience for high school girls athletics. And I think most of our followers that know us well enough know that we just feel like this is something that's severely missing and needed in girls athletics and boys athletics too. So I don't want to say that the boys have everything they don't, but it's certainly much better on the boys side than it is the girls side. We're a privately owned limited liability corporation. That means that I own it. We focus solely on high school girls prep sports. The only exception that we've made this year is doing some work for the Wisconsin Glow. I want to let you guys know that going forward, the Glow is actually going to take care of their own live streaming the rest of the season. So we're actually done with the Glow and that relationship this year. Really appreciate it. Had a lot of fun. Enjoyed the opportunity to get to know those players and wish those guys the very best the rest of the way. No hard feelings on our side. We said this at the beginning with the Glow that we don't want to hold anybody to a contract or hold them hostage to anything. If it's not the right fit down the road, or that you've got a better way to do it, then definitely do that. So they're going to go forward on their own. Again, we wish them the very best. I've told them that we'll be happy to help any way that we can because, again, they are doing what our mission is, and that is to support girls and women's athletics. So that's the news on the Glow. Our staff is primarily volunteers who really have a passion for high school girls athletics. We don't have a really paid staff, so to speak. We really count on our volunteers and students to help us make what we do the very best that we can. And those of you that know me know that I take a lot of pride in being very professional in how we deliver our game day and the graphics that we use and the social media posts that we do. We really want the athletes to feel like this is a big experience, a big deal, because it is. And it's a big deal for them, so it's a big deal to us. Everything we do is for the girls. That's not just a nice, cute little tagline. It is that, but it's more than that. Everything that we decide to do, from programming, from content, from really everything, is built around what do the girls want, what do they want to see. I always say we run on an inverted organization chart, in that the athletes are at the top and I'm at the bottom. My job is to serve the athletes and the coaches and the families thirdly. But primarily is the players, second is the coaches, and then third is families. But it's really all about the girls and all about the athletes. So not that I don't care about parents' opinions or coaches' opinions, I do, but the most important opinion I care about are the athletes and what they want, to make sure that we're giving them what they want, because it's their company. It really is. I'm just a steward for it, and it's really owned by the athletes in Wisconsin, the female athletes in Wisconsin. 2018, 2019, we live streamed over 125 girls athletic events. Still, I can't even believe that we did that many. We set our goal was to do 100, and people looked at me like I was insane, like you'll never do that. It's just too many. You're gonna get burned out. It's too many, and it was a lot, no question about it. But it was also just fantastic. It was just the greatest year. I had so much fun. I think the girls had a lot of fun. I think the coaches had fun. I got to meet so many people, so many parents, so many families, heard so many great stories about what we're doing. And again, I don't want to make this a big brag about W7 thing, but one thing I do want to mention, I cannot tell you how many people came up to me and said, my daughter's grandfather got to watch her play volleyball or basketball or softball, and he's in a nursing home, and he's not able to get out anymore, or they live in Florida now, and they're not able to come up during the wintertime because of the weather. All of those stories. Or my husband was traveling for business and he got to see his daughter play and she was the captain for one of the games. I could fill your inbox with stories like that, and that's why we do this. Again, it's for the girls. It's because these girls have family and friends all over the state, all over the country, and literally all over the world. We got notes from Italy, from Australia, from Japan, Hong Kong, Turkey, Portugal, England, the UK, all over the place, just about what we're doing. And I can't tell you how humbling that is to me and to us. Our funding comes primarily from our absolutely amazingly dedicated, passionate, wonderful fans, followers, and supporters and partners, really. You guys, we're partners together in doing this for the girls. So you guys roll up your sleeves and do this with me. I have people that come out and run cameras for me. I have parents that, hey, jump in and say, hey, what can I do? Bob Johnson's a great example at New Berlin West. I'll show up to games and he'll start unpacking all my stuff for me, or he'll start helping me pack up. And again, never asked him once to do it. He just does it because he feels like that's a way he can contribute to W7. And that's the most important thing is contribution. The financial piece of it obviously is super important to us because it helps pay our bills, all the equipment that we use. It looks really simple. It looks like, hey, you just press a live button and off you go. But there's a lot to it, and it's a lot of cost and a lot of expense. And so our followers help us with that financially. But again, not everybody can do that. Not everybody is blessed to have those kind of resources. So we often have people say, hey, how can I help? I can't give financially, but can I come and run a camera for you? Can I, what can I do? Can I help you pack up so you can get out and get home to your family earlier? I appreciate that stuff. So that's really who we are. And again, sorry for the monologue here, but again, I just want to make sure that everybody knows really who W7 is and really what we're about. So with that said, let's get into our schedule. I think that's why you guys are all here, right? So let's talk about the schedule this year. We've got a jam-packed volleyball schedule. So if you thought we were going to slow down in year 2 or year 3, now, believe it or not, this is year 3 for W7. I was telling my wife last night that the kids that are seniors this year, so this year, the class of 2020 will be the last class to go through where W7 wasn't involved in high school athletics in their area. So for example, Brookfield Central, the senior class like Anna Mortag and those kids are all seniors this year. They were the last class that had a year without W7. That was their freshman year. We've been involved with them since their sophomore year. Next year's senior class will have been here since they were freshmen. So it's really amazing how this thing has taken off and really just grown. And again, that's not anything I'm doing. That's something we're all doing together. We all make it a priority. We all help spread the word. I need you guys to keep spreading the word. Take a pause. If you're watching this online right now from your phone or from your laptop or whatever, share this post right now with all of your friends and let them know, hey, these guys, if you don't already know about them, you really should. Because not everybody obviously has daughters, but they certainly have nieces, grandkids, all of those things, friends with kids. So take a second and just share this post that you're watching right now with everybody you know, whether it be on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, and let people know, hey, make sure you follow these guys because they're all about girls athletics. So let's get into the schedule. We're going to, believe it or not, there's 60 teams on our schedule. Now that's a little bit deceiving because we are fortunate enough this year to be able to pick up 2 tournaments, which we've never done this before. We've never done a girls volleyball tournament before. Last year we did 10 games. They were all regular season games and we did no tournaments. This year I put out a note yesterday saying, hey, we had one booked, we were looking for one more, and I can't even begin to tell you how many people responded saying, do ours, do ours, do ours. And you know, I looked at it, I took the first one that came in, and we'll share that in just a minute, but we're doing 2 tournaments, and they're both fantastic. So I'm really excited about both of them. We'll share those with you in a second. The conferences we're going to focus on it's our core, it's who we are. It's the Classic 8, it's the GMC, it's the North Shore, it's the Southeast, and it's the Woodland. And if you notice, those are in alphabetical order, so there's no favorites. Although I will say and continue to say we are a GMC-led organization. That's just how we started. That's how we got in the door. The GMC schools helped us make us who we are. So we just say we're a GMC-led organization. We do quite a bit with the GMC, but that's not just the GMC. Certainly growing in those other conferences as well, especially the Classic 8 in North Shore, and you'll see that in the schedule today. So that is the you know, kind of the high look at the schedule. Let's get into the first conference here. Let's talk about the North Shore Conference. Coach Taylor at Hartford, I know she's watching. And Coach, I want to just thank you personally for your support of W7. You have been such an enormous advocate for us, not only in girls volleyball, but just in girls athletics in general, and making the folks at Hartford know who we are. Your AD, I sent a note asking if we can come out and live stream it. I got an answer in 5 seconds, and he said absolutely yes. So Taylor, I know that's your influence and your support of what we're doing, and it is just tremendously appreciated. We're really excited to come to Hartford again this year and do some work with you guys. Also Grafton, I got a nice note from Grafton last night saying, hey, we'd love to have you anytime. Let us know. We'd come up and so we can come up and do something up there. Slinger, of course. For those of you that don't know, you're going to see a good amount of Slinger volleyball on our schedule, and most everybody knows, but not everybody does. In each year, we do a fundraiser for about 2 weeks in April. And at the end of that fundraiser, when you make a donation, you get to choose, hey, what school do you represent? And at the end of that 2 weeks, the school that represents, the school that people choose, and that school that has the highest amount in fundraising will be what we call our W7 homeschool, which means 25% of our live streams for the entire year will be with that school, and that's in all sports, in volleyball, in basketball, in softball, and lacrosse if they have it. This year it was Slinger. It was a fantastic competition this year. We're going to change the competition a little bit this year going forward. So instead of just limiting this to 2 weeks, we're going to do a year-over-year rolling average. Now, we'll focus in the last 2 weeks of the year, but I had people come up to me this year and say, hey, you know, we donated in March or in June or July, and it would have been nice if that would have counted towards the overall amount. That will starting this year. So we'll do a year-over-year rolling total. We'll primarily, we're still only going to fundraise 2 weeks a year. I don't like doing it. I'd rather just focus on the girls and on the sports and not on the dollar side of it. But you know, we have to do it for a couple of weeks. But again, we'll come in that first day with, hey, this is what the total is. And we'll do updated totals every couple months on the website, just so everybody knows where we're at. But that's going to be something going forward that we're going to do as far as fundraising goes. That way everybody's donations count, and we're not just limiting people to 2 weeks out of the year. But in the North Shore, Grafton, Hartford, Slinger, and West Bend West, those are our North Shore teams for this year. Schedule-wise, we're going to open Hartford. We're coming to you on September 5th. Slinger at Hartford. We did that game last year. Okay, guys, let me just say one thing. I'm going to say game. I know it's match, but I'm just going to say game. I can't help myself. I'm a basketball guy. I'm a softball guy. That's just, you know, who I am. It's not an insult against volleyball. I love it. It's just, I'm going to say games. I'll try to say match, but it's going to come out games most of the time. So September 5th, we will be at Hartford, Slinger at Hartford. That's during opening week this year. September 24th, West Bend West at Slinger. We did West Bend East at Slinger last year. Again, fantastic match between those two, and we expect the same thing with West. We did West Bend West and Slinger basketball in the regional finals last year. Fantastic. And then Grafton at Slinger. So our first look at Grafton volleyball as well. So 3 big matches in the North Shore. And again, these are all regular season games. This doesn't count tournaments or anything like that. These are just regular season games. So that's your North Shore schedule. All right, I'm going to take a quick breath here, and we're going to get back to the schedule in just a minute. But I do want to just mention one quick thing, and that is we are looking for interns this year. And let me just classify what that is. An intern is a high school or college student, this would be high school or college, that have an interest in doing this, doing what we do, whether it be broadcasting. So we're certainly always looking for folks that are interested in play-by-play. I would say by far our biggest need are people who would be willing to run cameras for us, camera operators throughout the season. It's not a glorious, wonderful job, but it is so necessary. Those of you that know me know I've got kids that have had my own children do this the last couple of years. Well, as children tend to do, whether we like it or not, they grow up and they get jobs and they get lives and lives of their own, and going around Milwaukee area lugging cameras to do high school girls athletics is not everybody's passion, and I don't expect that my kids would want to do that forever. So that is something I really need. So if you are a student, or if you have a student that says, hey, I can run a camera for an hour and a half on a game night. It's really not complicated. I mean, we're talking iPads and iPhones. If you can swing the arm from left to right, you're going to do a pretty good job. We'll help you with a couple of little things, but for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. And again, we are working with some of the schools right now. So a couple that I wanted to share, Brookfield Central, we're going to be talking to them. Slinger, I'd love to talk to them as well about doing something around volunteer hours, credits, that type of thing. I don't have any details yet, but we are going to look to try to put something behind these internships to where you get some sort of credit for something, whether it be volunteer hours or some sort of course credit. Again, I don't have those answers yet, but you can see the list of things we're looking for. And I would say if you have an interest, don't be afraid. Don't say, hey, I don't know how to do this. Well, if you knew how to do it, you wouldn't be an intern. You'd be doing what I do. So don't feel like you've got to come in knowing everything. In fact, I really don't even want that. I want people that say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but I am sure willing to learn and to listen and to help do the very best that I can. And you know what? You're going to make mistakes. You know what? I make them every day. But why do you think we started 12 minutes late? So this is going to happen all the time. Nobody gets fired. Nobody gets yelled at. We just don't do those things. Everybody's doing the best they can. And the greatest part of all you guys, for the kids out there, our followers are the absolute most wonderful people in the world. They are the most forgiving. They give us the most grace. I can't tell you how many times we've cut a live stream in the middle of a game because something happened, or a battery died, or we just didn't have a Wi-Fi cellular signal. Nobody got mad. Nobody yelled. They just said, hey, can I get a copy of it later? Could you tell me what happened? People understand. And that's, again, why I love our followers. They're the best in the world. They really are. So if you have an interest, email us, DM us, smoke signal, whatever it is, your poison of choice. You can email info@productionsw7.com. We'll put that out tonight as well. But again, we really need help to make this thing work this year, especially for the number of games we want to do. So that's my plug on that. Next event is the Lancer Invite. So our first tournament we're going to talk about is the Lancer Invite, and that is September 14th. So here's your time to stand up and cheer, Brookfield Central fans. Appleton North, Arrowhead, Brookfield Central, Cedarburg, DSHA, East Troy, Greendale, Menominee Falls, Mukwonago, Neenah, Nicolet, Oshkosh West, Waterloo, West Bend West, and West Osha Central. That's a pretty good roster. Thanks to Coach Spies for working with us to make this happen. We're super excited. This is September 14th. It's on Saturday at Brookfield Central. So we'll spend the whole day with our Lancer friends on the 14th. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a great event. So that's September 14th. That's the Lancer Invite, going to be on W7. Southeast Conference, we typically only focus on 2 schools because they're the only 2 that I really classify as clear Milwaukee area, Franklin and Oak Creek. We've got great relationships with both of those schools. And just a quick shout out to our friends at Franklin. I think most of you know Franklin lost a member of the Saber family this past week in a car accident. And it's been a very, very difficult time for our friends at Franklin. We love you guys. I love the Sabres. Love going down there. Mr. Hine, they're just great. They're great people. And it's just, we really enjoy our time in Franklin. Coach Jill, of course, on the lacrosse side as well. So Franklin, thinking about you guys, and Oak Creek always as well. So a couple matches, I almost said games, matches in the Southeast both are road games for our Southeast friends. So we're not going to go to Oak Creek or Franklin for volleyball, but we are also going to cover a match for each. Oak Creek will be at McWanago on September 7th. So that's Saturday, I think. We're going to be at McWanago for that. And then October 15th, Franklin at Pewaukee. So Troy Berglund, notice you weren't at the varsity invite yesterday, Mr. Pewaukee Pirate guy. Didn't see Jordan there. I don't care if you were there, but I didn't see Jordan there, so I was worried about that. But sounds like you guys are traveling. So looking forward to the line score and odds and all that fun stuff on Pewaukee. Love going to Pewaukee. We have so much fun. So October 15th, Franklin at Pewaukee, and then September 7th, Oak Creek at McWanago. Here's the other big news. This is the Charger Invitational. We're going to take a break. I want to air for you a interview that we had with the head coach of the Sussex Hamilton Chargers, Tracy Bird. Take a watch for this. W7 Live, we are back from break, and I've got a very special guest on the video chat with us today. It is the head coach of the Sussex Hamilton Chargers, Tracy Bird. Coach, thanks for making time and coming on broadcast tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Well, together we're going to make a pretty big announcement here, our fans. So I got to tell you, before we do this, I got to tell you, I thought our basketball fans were crazy and our softball fans were crazy. I think our volleyball fans may top of both as far as just passionate about, like maniacal, like crazy about volleyball, about the sport. I mean, and we love those kind of fans. I mean, and we got a ton of people really interested in what's going on with us in volleyball. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Passionate is probably the best adjective you could use for volleyball fans. Well, and it's growing. Keeps growing.
It's definitely a growing sport. And, speaking of the sport itself, one thing that I've noticed in just doing basketball and volleyball seems to be more, maybe not celebratory, but it's more like almost communal, where they come together after every point. I mean, obviously you don't do that in basketball. For every basket, they don't get together in a circle and, do a handshake or whatever. But, the kids really like that. And it has that feeling of community with it. And it's kind of a family type thing, right?
Yeah, it's definitely the epitome of a team sport. There's not one player who can really take over an entire game. You can have stellar players on your team, but you really have to be well-rounded to be a successful pro. I think that's what's fun is people can put themselves in their shoes anywhere on the court, and not just be that one top dog all the time.
Well, I'm really excited because, and I mentioned this, you and I were chatting last night. I'm really excited because we've tried to do some things with Sussex Hamilton in the past, and for whatever reason it hasn't worked out. And I'm excited to announce that W7 will be live streaming the Charger Invitational the weekend of September 20th and 21st from the Milwaukee Sting Center, hosted by Sussex Hamilton. Coach, we're super excited.
Me too. I can't wait. So it's a fun tournament.
Well, I'm looking at the roster of teams here, and it's really a who's who in terms of volleyball in our state. I mean, just looking at some of the list here, Appleton North, Arrowhead, DSHA, McWanago, Kimberly, Hamilton, obviously, Sun Prairie, KM, Homestead. I mean, Nina, you got everybody in here.
River Falls comes down for
River Falls, Howard's Grove, Brookfield Central. I mean, everybody's in. It's going to be just a fantastic event.
That was our goal. Our goal was to get teams from 1 all over the states and 2 all different divisions 1 through 3.
So, Coach, format-wise on the event itself, how does that work? How does the pairings work? And when's all that announced? And how does that happen?
Well, we usually wait until after the first couple tournaments of the season to see how they go before we put out our announcements for seeding, and we snake seed it, and then the top 2 teams are going to go to gold, and there'll be bracket play with about 8 teams in gold and then silver and so forth. On the first day, it's just the first set of pool play, and then we'll finish up pool play in the morning, and then we'll pretty much go right into the crossover and bracket play on the second day. We like to have it very high competitive, but we don't want too many games to kill these girls.
Right.
So try to you gotta win to keep going.
Well, and we didn't do any tournaments last year, so you'll have to certainly help guide me through this year when we do it. But we're really looking forward to it. And it was great. We put out a note, I think, on Sunday or Saturday night about looking for a tournament, that we got just a ton of responses, and yours was the first one. So I contacted you right away, and I appreciate you offered that to us. We're really excited about it.
Well, as you said about those passionate parents, those are the ones who contacted me, and they love this tournament that we do. Our team completely runs it with the help of Milwaukee Sting, and they love this tournament. We really try to get all teams from all over the state, all different divisions, to try to make this a wide variety of schools in this tournament that other tournaments don't always have. Otherwise, you see the same teams over and over again.
Right. Well, it should be fun. We're looking forward to it. Enjoy the rest of our show tonight. Thanks for your time, Coach, and we'll see you in September.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait.
All right, Tracy Burr, head coach, Sussex Hamilton Volleyball. How cool is that? So Tracy and I had a heck of a time getting it up and going, but we got it figured out, and you know, it came along pretty well. And I would tell you again, you know, it's amazing the stuff that you can do with this technology. And I know people get frustrated when it doesn't work. I'm more like surprised when it does work. I mean, to me, it's just amazing this stuff all works to the way that it does, because to me, we've just come so far from even in the last 10 years. I mean, think about trying to do this stuff 10 years ago. There's no way. You're talking $10,000 cameras, and you know, you're not doing multiple cameras with one person. That's just not happening. But you know, that's where we are now. So I'm always excited when I hear that it does work. Hey, I got a chance to look at some of the comments. I want to just share a few things. Thanks, Coach Satiris, as always. Love you, my brother. Appreciate everything. Lori Paulus, tell Tiffy to be nice to me on social media. I love Tiffy. Tiffy's giving me a hard time because I haven't been giving Hale enough love lately, so she has been on my case about it, which I'm okay with that. So appreciate the comments. Taylor, it's not Edmonds anymore. It's Cleansing, I think. Coach Cleansing at Hartford. First of all, congratulations, Taylor. And I agree, Tracy Burr. She is fantastic. She's great. Love working with her, and looking forward to going to Hartford again this year. So that's the down low on the Charger Invitational, July. September 20th and 21st. Quick side note, God bless Coach Tracy. She told me, she's like, you don't have to come on September 20th because it's a Friday night and you probably have football to go to. I'm like, football? I don't do football. My football days are over. My son graduated last year. Me and football are out. So I'll be there Friday night, and we're going to rock the Sting Center Friday night, September 20th. So if you get stuck at some football game and you really want something fun to watch, take your phone with you, and you can watch W7 and watch the Charger Invitational. So that's coming up September 20th and 21st. Let's move on. I want to take a quick break here. I promised our friends from Freedom Girls Basketball that we were going to post something tonight, and here it is. So you guys have waited. Here it is. We were at the Varsity Invitational yesterday, the Wisconsin Impact Varsity Invitational at Center Court in Waukesha, and there were so many schools there. And for some reason, and you guys know how this goes sometimes, you just kind of get around a certain group and you just kind of tend to just stick with them. And for some reason, we just kind of got looped in with the smaller schools, and we decided to hang out with them most of the day, which we did. So Freedom, Blackhawk, Wrightstown, we really just kind of hung with those guys, Mosinee, and just spent time with them. Amazing, amazing kids. You guys have the greatest kids, and we had so much fun with them. Here is something fun that we did with Freedom Girls Basketball yesterday. Check this out. This was a lot of fun. So get in the same positions you were in. Come in a little bit. Where's the other one? Where's the third place? We're going to recreate that no-look pass, but didn't get it on camera. Oh, that's way too fast. Come back here. Take start a half court and come walking down and then do it. Yeah, just like that.
Money.
Well, how great was that, huh? We had a lot of fun with those guys. It seems like my machine's running a little bit slow. I'm not sure what's going on. George, got the note. Thank you. I'm just going to go with the full presentation mode here the rest of the way. So that was our time with Freedom. Let's move forward. Woodland Conference. 3 teams in the Woodland, Pewaukee, Pius, and Wisconsin Lutheran. Hey, one other quick note I want to just mention. I would say we're 95% firm on this schedule. There may be 1 or 2 puts or takes, in the next couple of weeks or 3 weeks. So it's not 100% for sure yet, but we're pretty darn close. I would say there won't be any removals. There just may be a couple of adds depending on how things go. So Woodland schedule, September 19th, Wisconsin Lutheran at Pius Catholic. I got a note today from the Pius AD. They're thrilled that we're going to come out, and we're super excited. And before I forget, I want to just give a big thanks to Dan Carey at Pius Catholic just for his support of W7, getting us in with the glow and helping to make all this stuff happen, and Coach Fisher as well. We're just so appreciative to those guys just for not only what they're doing for us, but also what they're doing for girls and women's athletics in our state. They are 90% of what I do, you guys, I really just take a cue from guys like that, and from guys like George, and from Mallory Liebel, and Coach McCarney at Mosinee. It's really just, I watch them and say that, I love that, and we take it on as our own. So thanks to those guys. And October 16th, we mentioned this already when we talked about the Southeast Conference, Franklin at Pewaukee. So we'll be at Pewaukee October 16th for that one. Classic 8, we're getting towards the home stretch here. Classic 8, we've got a good-sized schedule this year on the Classic 8 in volleyball. I love volleyball in the Classic 8. There's just great stuff happening there. So let's get right into that. Our schedule, so here's our opener right away, September 3rd, Muskego Catholic Memorial. How cool is that? So Muskego at Catholic Memorial on September 3rd, that will be our first volleyball match I said match, of the season. September 3rd, Muskego at CMH. September 10th, North, we're coming home, baby. Kettle Moraine at Waukesha North. We'll go see Coach Miller and the girls there. Also want to give a big thanks to Coach Megan Miller at Waukesha North. She's been such a huge supporter of what we're doing. And again, not just volleyball. She blows the trumpet for all of our sports. And I love coaches that do that. We've got so many of them that they cross over in other sports because they see the whole big picture. It's not just about their team and their sport. It's really the whole. Take a step back and look at everything. So, Coach Miller, appreciate everything you're doing for W7 and for girls athletics in our state. Waukesha South, I wouldn't forget my black shirts. I couldn't forget you guys. September 26th is a non-conference game, but when Elkhorn comes to South, we be there. So we'll be at Waukesha South September 26th. I love going to South. I love the folks there, and looking forward to some Southside Pride on September 26th. October 15th, we'll be at Muskego. You're not going to believe this when I tell you guys this. First time ever for an event at Muskego indoors. We did a softball game there this spring. Coach Check had us out to do softball with North and Waukesha North. So it's Waukesha North and Muskego again, this time in volleyball. So we did softball this spring, now volleyball this fall. So that's our Classic 8 schedule. Just some great games. Looking forward to those. I don't have it on here, but also September 7th is Oak Creek at McWanago. So I overlooked that one, but that one's on there as well on September 7th. So Drew Henning, we're coming for you. Okay. Hey, almost done, guys. Home stretch here. But before we do, I want to, before we get to the GMC, because we always do the GMC last. That's just what we do. I don't know why we do it that way, but that's the way we do it. I want to talk about girls basketball. So volleyball fans, if you want to get a drink or whatever, do that. We'll be right back and talk more on volleyball, but we'll just take a break and talk basketball for a second. So we're doing a live reveal of our W7 2019-20 girls basketball broadcast schedule on August 8th. So August 8th at 6:30, we're going to have it at Dugout 54, which is on 54th and Blue Mound in Milwaukee. Near Miller Park area, near Tosa, East Territory, right in that little pocket there. 54th and Blue Mound. I've been there to Dugout 54. It's a fantastic venue. They're going to give us pretty much a dedicated bar just on our side, just for our group that we can use. They got wall-to-wall TVs. They're going to give us access to their AV stuff. We're going to live stream our show from Dugout 54. So not only are we going to do it in person, we're also going to live stream it as well. So that's going to be a huge event. And for those of you that know, the first ever schedule reveal we did was last year for girls basketball. We did it on August 12th last year. And in the 2.5 years I've been doing this, still have not had an event that was more watched than that girls basketball schedule reveal was last year. Of all the games we've ever done, of all the live events we've done, that one is still the number one on the list of people have watched that more than anything else. So we said, hey, let's do it again, but this time let's do it in person. The players are the girls basketball players are number one on the list. So coaches, of course, we want you there. Families, of course, we want you there. Fans, we want you there too. But this is for the players first. Players, you are absolutely 100% welcomed, and we hope that you will come and support W7 and support this event. And it's a great opportunity for us to come together as a girls basketball family and really just show our community the really great things that are happening in girls basketball, because it's really awesome. I'm so proud of girls basketball in our state. I'm busting. I can't even tell you how proud I am. I watched those teams yesterday. The talent we have is great, but the character we have is phenomenally good. Phenomenally good, you guys. It is so good. Such great coaches, such great players. And yeah, I'm a rah-rah, guy, but it's so great. So come out August 8th. We're going to do tickets. They're going to be super cheap. It may be like $1 or something for players. It's really only a way for us to do a placeholder so we can get a good count for the staff and make sure that we don't. I'd love to see us overbook it. I'd love it. I'd love to see us hit the limit, whatever that is. I don't know what it is yet, but Tickets are going to be super cheap, and it's really just going to cover food and donations. We're going to have a place, if you want to make a donation to W7, you can do that. Again, we love donations. We're all about giving you opportunities to do that if you want to. Not expected, not required. It's like Panera at tips. Appreciated but never expected. So we'll give you that opportunity on that event. But again, tickets are going to be on the super cheap. The whole event is being presented by Zone Athletics. And if you know Zone, they are our partner. Anything around uniforms, whatever it is, volleyball, football. I know we're girls sports, we are, but they do everything. They do softball, baseball, they do it all. So if you're looking at uniforms in the next year and you say, hey, I want to help support W7, there's a great way you can do that. Call Zone Athletics and talk with them. Slinger did it. Slinger did that for softball. We'll get a picture of their uniforms up. They look fantastic. Zone did a fantastic job with them. And Barium for basketball, club basketball. Those uniforms are sick. I mean, they're really good. So Zone is going to help present this, and we're going to have some really awesome prizes from Zone. So a couple things, and again, just to tease this. Number one, coaches, teams, you will want to send one coach to this event. Just trust me when I say you will want to send one coach to this event, because one or two teams are going to walk out with some pretty nice swag out of this event. So you'll want to make sure to send somebody. If you can't make it, send an assistant coach. If you can't make an assistant coach, call me and say, hey, I'm going to send Drew's mom as the coach for McGuanago. I don't know, whoever it is. So Heather's going to come in as the coach for McGuanago, whatever it is. We'll make it work, but we want to get representation from all of our schools there, because there's going to be some really, really cool prizes. So that is August 8th. More to come. Zone Athletics, thank you. They're going to be there. We're going to have a fantastic event. So that's coming up August 8th. And I'll tell you guys what, if we do a great job in volleyball this year and things go well, we'll look at doing something live for volleyball next year as well. So that's our commercial there for girls basketball. Okay, last stretch here. I'm going to close by 9 o'clock and let you guys get on with your night here. This is the Greater Metro Conference. Brookfield Central, Brookfield East, Germantown, Menominee Falls, Sussex Hamilton, and Wauwatosa West. So what's that, 6 out of 9? Not bad. September 4th, Brookfield East at Germantown. Now, one thing I want to just make mention of, you'll see Germantown represented on here quite a bit. We're going to do a lot with Germantown this year, and there's a couple reasons. One is, in my 3 years, we haven't done a lot with them. It just hasn't worked out for whatever reason. But they stepped up enormously on the homeschool contest. They ended up getting second place, edged out at the last minute, right before the event closed. But I talked to Sarah and the coaches at Germantown and some of the parents and said, hey, don't worry, we're gonna do a lot there this year. So we're gonna do, for sure, 3 volleyball matches at Germantown. September 4th, Brookfield East at Germantown. September 17th, Wauwatosa West at Germantown. October 1st, Sussex Hamilton at Menominee Falls. October 10th, Brookfield Central at Tosa West. And October 17th, Hartford at Germantown. So Hartford, we start with you and we end with you. How cool is that, huh? Also, just a quick note, we're going to do, Coach Soteros, if you remember, we did the 4 days with Hale varsity a couple of years ago when we first started. That was our mini documentary. We're going to do a mini doc this year with Wauwatosa West for volleyball. So we're going to carve out some days to spend with Coach Dwyer and the girls. Coach Dwyer already contacted me and said, hey, we'd love to book some sort of documentary with you guys. We're going to do that with Wauwatosa West during the season this year, and then hopefully have that ready for them by season's end. It'll just be a mini doc like we did with Hale a couple years ago. So that's coming up. And speaking of documentaries, Waukesha North, Brookfield Central, your guys is pretty much done and ready to go. We're going to be looking at getting times with you guys to get on the schedule and view those. We'd love to watch them together as a group first before we actually send to the media. So that's coming up as well for documentaries. We did it, 56 minutes, well, 44 minutes because of the 12-minute late start. But let me just check the comments real quick and see if I've missed anything. We kind of flew this pretty fast, but that's how that goes. Yeah, James is live with me for sure, helping me out today. Yep, never easy with Dad around, that's for sure. So I think that's it, unless you guys have anything. But thanks for all your support, players. Looking forward to seeing you guys in September as we kick off the volleyball season, September 3rd at Catholic Memorial, Muskego at Catholic Memorial, September 3rd, all the way up until October 17th when we close it out. We may have one more event after that, but I don't know for sure yet. But October 17th right now is our official last match, and that's Hartford and Germantown. So thank you guys for joining. As always, spread the word, W7, let people know who we are and what we do, and that you guys support W7 and all that we're about. Again, students, especially if you're an athlete and not doing something in the fall. So if you are a basketball player and you're not playing volleyball, give me a buzz. Come out and help us. And then volleyball players, come back around this winter when volleyball's over and come and help us with basketball. You guys, I've said it before and I'll say it one last time. We cannot expect boys sports to drop everything and support us if we don't do it for each other first. That has to be first. We've got to take care of our own first. So before we start yelling at people about coming to volleyball games instead of football, which I'm all for, by the way, you guys know that. I'm 100% in favor of, if I know all our girls go to football games, why don't all the football players go to volleyball games? But before we get there, let's get all of our female athletes going to female athlete events. Basketball players, I expect to see you guys at volleyball events this fall. I really, really do. Volleyball players, I expect to see you at basketball games this winter. We've got to support each other, you guys. That's the only way this thing works. We've got to be there and be loud and yell and cheer and scream our lungs out, just like we do for the football guys. It's just as important. I would say it's more important, but I'm in the minority there. So anyway, thanks for all you guys do. Our supporters, as always, you guys are salt of the earth. Straight up 9 o'clock. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it. Our next time I'll see you will be August 8th at Dugout 54 in Milwaukee. Coach Rowie, Coach Sotiros, Coach Liebel are going to co-host this show with me. We're going to have guests. We're going to have prizes. We're going to have all kinds of fun. August 8th at Dugout 54, 6:30 to 8:30. More information coming. You've been watching W7 Live and the girls volleyball schedule reveal. Once again, lastly, everything we do, it really is for the girls. Have a great night.